And true prayer is prayer of devotion of the heart. So when you just got a child, and a child just knows how to stand up, say the takbir of Allahu Akbar, and basically just pray, you haven't finished your job of nurturing that child. You haven't done that. When your wife or your proposal has come to you and you're talking to each other and you're trying to get to know one another, you haven't discovered the other person, you haven't discovered the inside. It's a very important part, because not even half, but you will save yourself from a lot of trouble if you get to know the person on the inside before you get married. You will save yourself a lot of trouble. I'm dealing with certain cases at the moment, people, seeing each other, they want to get married. And love, what the Prophet said, he said, حُبُّكَ الشَّيْء قَدْ يُعْمِيكَ. He said, your love for something can blind you. The hadith in Abu Dawud. So you look at the skin, you look at the features, you look at the facial features, and it's driving you, inclining you towards this person. But what you're not looking at is the true character inside. Can you live with the person on the inside? And suddenly one day in marriage, when that person comes out and they get rid of their outer shell, and then they reveal their inner, real self, then you regret making that move of marrying this person, or being with this person, and there's divorce and whatever comes in it. So what's important in rectification is when you want to rectify someone, you rectify them in the inside. That's where the real energy is. That's where the real engine is. That's where the real batteries are. That's where the real part. You've got a house, your electric board for the whole house to see something. That's where you've got to go to try and get the bulb on. The bulb's not coming on. The electric wires are there. The electricity is not there. Where do you go? You go to the board and you see if everything's on. If it's not on, switch it on. From the inside, it will all light up. But if you try and fix this bulb here and fix this wiring here, and fix the plaster and then redo the plastering here, take the wire out and try and see if you can find it, you're losing it, because you're just fixing some part of the outside. You're not going to the inside. And when it comes to domestic violence, first is, my advice to you is, when you're getting married, brothers and sisters who are listening to this, please find out the character from within. And this is not done by a 10-minute Bengali sitting, or a 5-minute Gujarati visit, or a 10-minute Pakistani Laddu celebration, or whatever you want to call it. This kind of arranged marriages where astaghfirullah al-azim. You've got the Sunnah in front of you. You've got the Sunnah in front of you, where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he himself got to know the character of Khadija before he married her. Isn't that right? She got to know his character before she married him. It was very clear that they knew each other's insides. She was after, so many men sought for her for a marriage proposal. But she went for him. Why? Because of his dealings with Maysara, her servant. And on the whole route and coming back, because when you travel with someone, you get to know them. And he came back and he said, look, this is what happened. Apart from, we made double the business, it wasn't just business, it was his character. And how wonderfully did they live in that married life. So that's the Sunnah. That's how he got married to his first wife. They both got to know each other with their character through business. Through business. And if you look, even in certain you'll find narrations where a Sahabi is trying to get to know the proper nature of someone. What did they do? They ask for proper character reference of what their character is. You find this in the hadith. Anyway, that's the first thing. The second thing is, if you're married and you've got into this marriage, you've got to do things. Now, some of you, who listen to this, you might be stuck with whoever you're with at the moment. The beautiful days, the hunky-dory days, they don't last. They don't last forever. And most people, every young person you listen, every young person you ask them, they just got love hearts in their eyes. They think, nah, me and him, it's going to be the most beautiful marriage. The most successful marriage. Nothing can ever go wrong. Blah, 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 blah. Well, they're just being human beings. and they just need to look at the rest of humanity and see what happened to them. Right? Because once it's all over, once the first few months, weeks, some people days, once that's all over, then it's like, then it's real time. And this, if after you got married, it comes out that this person is now showing signs of a deviant character, of a dominant character, of a jealous character, of this and that. The advice I'll give to you is, again, sorry, I'll retract back. If you're worried about this, especially for sisters, is that you should get a clause inside the nikah contract which allows you to come out with ease if you need to come out. And you can talk to Imam, and they'll tell you what kind of clause is accepted and what's not accepted. And it's in the fiqh books. Seriously, it's in the fiqh books. You know, if you go to Bangladesh, the Qadi over there, they've got a massive document, and most people don't even read it. There's actually tick boxes to say which one will the bride side accept. Has she got the right to give herself a divorce? Has she got this and that and khula and so on? Now for the guys, I'm talking to you here, you probably never want to see this contract. Yeah? Because the man has the authority of divorce. It's fine. But I'm just giving you general advice. What you should do is, if you're worried about something, then you do some research. Now, I'm not going to sit here going through marriage contracts and this and that. But there are clauses you can put inside there so that life becomes easy for you to come out of the marriage if you need to come out. So you're in this marriage, and now things are happening, things are going wrong. What do? Well, the first thing to do is that if you're going to add paraffin to fire, you're going to get bonfire. Okay? So if he's acting a bit weird, or if he's not giving you what you want, and you sort of say, okay, that's it. Here's Wonder Woman. Right? I'm going to be Superwoman. I'm going to show you how tough I can be. Well, you've got to have done your maths right first. Because once you start extending your tongue, then don't think, because most people what they do is, whether it's a man doing it, whether it's a woman doing it, what they don't calculate is the next move. Or they might calculate the next move, but they don't calculate the next 20th move. You're going down the street, and there's a guy who's eyed you out, and you eyed him out. Yeah. Right? So now both of them thinking you think you're hard, yeah? And punch me, yeah, I'll punch you without you can blink your eye, man, I'll punch you, man. Why he hasn't calculated is the other guy who is saying the same thing. I'll punch you before you can even, twitch, before your fist comes up, I'll have you on the floor. That's what he's thinking. And then when they actually start fighting and they start punching one another, and then one grabs another one in a headlock, what he didn't calculate is how strong is his headlock, how strong is the arm. They don't, you don't think like that. Initially you think, anything you're tough, yeah, I'll show you. And then when they get into a fight, and that guy's arm is locked around his neck, and now he's got blood rushing to his head, and he's thinking, Toba. But on the outside what he does, it's human. On the outside what they do is like, yeah, I'll show you. I'll get my boys. So next thing is he's thinking on how to, because now it's not just them two. Now he's thinking he's got done in Cannon Street, but he was from Stepney. So he needs to get his Stepney boys tomorrow because he's got done in. This really happens, right? So he's going to go back. Now, this guy in Cannon Street, he just thought one-to-one. So next thing he sees, he's walking around, he's just going on a stroll on a Sunday morning, and he sees 20 boys coming from Stepney, and he's running for his life. And then they get him, they batter him, they beat him up, they keep leaving bloody down the street, and then they walk off, Stepney. After that, what they didn't calculate is Cannon Street's got another 80 boys that are going to be brought in from the surrounding areas, and they're going to come and fight. Now, why am I saying this to you? And this place like this, that's the right place to talk about, right? Is that when she's made her statement, or when he's made his statement, don't you think that you're just going to make a statement and there's going to be nothing more? Because the thing is, each time you want to get back, you better add some more spices to it, right? If he was mild curry, you better make it medium. And if it's medium, you have to make it hot. And if it's not hot, you have to put vindaloo. You really spice it up. You want to make the other person choke. So what they'll do with their words, this is what happens. the woman and the man, before the violence comes, okay, before the physical violence comes, the verbal one is the one that starts it all off. And they wind each other up. So it's like, you this, that. Now, if in their vocabulary they've got swearing, and one of them does it, now it's really bad. You know, in the beginning, even to bully someone verbally, it's wrong, it's haram. To bully someone verbally is wrong. But let's say both of them have broken this. So they're now thinking, well, what's next? So one of them starts to get abusive with words that are really going to hurt the other person inside. So they use swear words. So now if the other person thinks, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, now I better just put my hands down, you know, but I better really think of what's happening, and I better go back in the musalla, I better go talk to good people I know, poor people, and I'm not going to swear back. I can't do that, it's haram. I can't do that. And the person stops, and the person says, no way I'm going to break that limit. Then, you know, this is now sulh. This is now rectification. This is now compromise. This is now someone who's bringing themselves aligning to what Allah and the Messenger. Now you can see, even if the other person carries on going on to physical abuse, the one who's first decided not to cross the limits is the one that is rectifying the matter. See, what happens in most situations is that, Imam, she said this to me. I said, okay, she said that. Why did she say to you? Because I said this to her. Okay, well, why did you say that? Because she did this. Okay, why did she do this? Because she has suspicion that me to do this. It goes on and on, right? And by the time they've come to you and the things they reveal, you think, hang on a minute. You're saying that it's her, she's saying it's you, but in the middle of it, both of you have committed wrong. Don't come to me and say to me that the other person wasn't wrong. No, but she, you know what they do? They look at the worst crime in the end and they say, look, how could she have done this? How could he have done this? But they don't look at all the other minor crimes behind that. Crime is crime from the small moment that you committed it. So when the woman's, eventually she thinks, okay, he's swearing at me now. He's calling me the B word, and he's calling me every other statement when he's angry is the F word, and this, that, and then he says, she thinks, okay, well, you're a B and a D, and she rolls a few out. Now he thinks, what? You gonna swear at me? You're telling me? Or it might not be swearing, it might be, okay, she's going to start now acting more funny. Now, I understand that she might be under a lot of pressure, but she's got to take her actions into the whole consideration. He might be doing it. I mean, look, I'm just giving you a scenario. I'm not saying typically men do this and do this. I'm just giving you a scenario because I've dealt with so many cases. So then what does he do? He might then start, being horrible in another way. He might say, okay, you think that's it? Yeah. And then he might either go cold, he might start putting pressure on her, he might, different ways of pressure, okay? Or he might turn to physical straight away. He might do that. But then the whole community, the two families say, Astaghfirullah, how can he hit her? But come on, let's put our hands up here. Let's put our hands up. They both committed things that were wrong. Even though they were small, compared to the hitting, they both committed things that were wrong. And then it came to this punch, or it came to this hitting, or it came to whatever it was. And there's all sorts of things that that happen. What I want to highlight to you is that they both cause damage to each other with several things. Okay? For example, she's not happy with him. Now the curry and masala has changed in the house. He used to enjoy his food, and now he thinks that chicken's half cooked. Yeah? Or it's not cooked with love. Obviously she hasn't got that, she's lost that love. But what she can do, see, the first person to compromise is to keep on the good actions that you've been doing. For him as well, what he can do is think. One thing a man should think of is, and I remind a lot of people about this, that whoever you are as a man, if you're doing something horrible to your wife, you should understand that that wife of yours is a daughter of another man. Just